All right, so what's the word that means Jesus was born as a human being? You were thinking that a minute ago, huh? Jesus is the
promise.
He is the promise, and when Jesus is born as a human being, we call that what, Barney?
The sacrifice?
That's on the cross. What do we call when Jesus is born? In what? Incarnation. Oh, very good. Now, when Jesus dies on the cross, what does he die for? Yes.
Our sins.
Our sins. And what's the big fancy word that's for sin? Yeah.
Rejected.
Not rejection.
Transgression.
Right?
Yikes.
Now, when Jesus dies on the cross for our transgressions, our sins go on him and his goodness comes to us. And what do we call that?
That's a hard one.
That is a hard one.
Because you didn't tell me what it means yet.
It's another Asian. It sounds like an Asian. Yeah. We were learning this one the other day. We just started on it. Propitiation. What was I saying? Propitiation. Man, I was cutting it a syllable short. Now, Barney, what was the word that meant prayer? What do we call it when we make a prayer for someone?
I just said it a minute ago.
Jesus does it for us with God all the time.
I said it a minute ago.
What does Jesus do? When we want to go talk to God, and God is holy and perfect, and we are not, who's the person that goes between us and God?
I said it a minute ago.
Jesus, and we call that an... Yeah, and it's a eshin.
I said...
It's an enter... It's an intercession.
Intercession.
All right, Emma.
Yeah.
What does propitiation mean?
Jesus died on the cross for our sins.
That's right. So our sins go on him, and his goodness comes to us. Barney, what's incarnation?
Jesus was born.
That's right. Barney, what is salvation? Salvation. What do we have to do to get salvation?
Do something good.
Nope. But it is good to do.
Pray to God.
No. Who do we have to believe in to go?
God.
Yeah, and so salvation is what?
Trust in God.
That's right. Believe
And
in
promise.
Jesus.
This means promise.
All right. Now, what were some other words we learned? We learned what's the difference between a patriarch and a prophet. Who are the patriarchs, Barney?
No. Oh, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Awesome. And Emma, can you give me an example of a prophet? What were we trying to memorize today? What were we trying to do? 53. What was it?
53. Lord, my shepherd, I shall not want. We stand lie down in green pasture, and we store my soul.
That's Psalm 23, sweetie. It's wonderful. What were we learning today? What you was learning about Jesus?
Isaiah 53.
So who was a prophet?
Isaiah.
Isaiah is a prophet. Can we think about any other prophets? Can you think about any guys that got stuck in the belly of a fish? Jonah's a prophet. Oh my goodness. Can we think about anybody that flew up to heaven on a giant chariot? He got taken up into heaven. Swoosh. Remember the story of Elijah? The person that followed after him, Elijah. And then Elijah came back, and who had the spirit of Elijah and was a prophet that prepared the way for Jesus? Elisha helped Elijah, but who came back with the spirit of Elijah? A God. Who was the one that prepared the way for Jesus? No, those are patriarchs. Abraham, Isaac, and
Jesus.
Who was the cousin of Jesus? John the
Baptist!
John the Baptist. So he's another prophet. And then after you have prophets, who else do you have? What do we call the 12 followers of Jesus? The 12 men. Peter.
Peter.
And what do we call those guys? They are the
12 men of Jesus.
And what do we call the 12 men of Jesus?
Jesus' followers.
And what do we call them? What's the special word for them? The apostles!
Yeah, the apostles!
All right, let's blow kisses at Mom.